Welcome to Everything Football. What a match day one. We've had a couple of dull games, a couple of very incredible matches like Portugal, Ghana, a couple of one-sided matches like Spain and Costa Rica. But it's been entertaining as usual. The World Cup comes every 4 years, so it's definitely a time to enjoy ourselves. And same applies to the World Cup fantasy. I know there's been changes. I know a couple of people have said it's not interesting anymore because of all the rule changes and all the bugs and stuff. But let's enjoy ourselves. Let's just enjoy ourselves. So before I go into the match day two, let me show you guys how my team did for match day one before I tell you what I'm trying to do for match day two. So at least we now have pictures for the players. In terms of the goalkeeper, I had Rocher of Uruguay, got me 6 points, a clean sheet against South Korea. That is the kind of game you need defenders from. It was a 0-0 without any shots on target from both teams. Like those are the kind of games you need defenders from. In terms of the defense, basically did well, the whole team. We started with Stupinan, who played the first game against Qatar, kept a clean sheet, could easily have had an assist at A. We also had Sosa of Croatia, keeping a clean sheet as expected. He was going forward a lot as well. Very good option. And then Joachim Mailer, another clean sheet there. Denmark, you would expect him to keep a clean sheet in that game. And he went forward a lot as well in that match. And then Luke Shaw, 4 points. Didn't keep a clean sheet. They conceded 2 goals, but he ended up getting an assist. Very early on, the first goal England scored, it was an assist from Luke Shaw. So I was very, very happy with that defense. Basically, everyone returned. Clean sheet from my goalkeeper, my 3 defenders, and an assist from my 4th defender. In terms of midfield, not the best, but he started pretty well with Saka getting 15 points. I brought him in last minute, like 10 minutes before the deadline or something. I brought in Bukayo Saka. I was happy with having him in just before the England game, and 15 points. Incredible. Like, I just brought him in as a punt, obviously, because I love him as an Arsenal fan, but I did not expect 15 points. So that is great. And then Kimmich, 1 point, disappointing. Germany losing to Japan. That game I had predicted 3-2 to Germany. I was expecting it to be end-to-end, but Japan definitely turned up. And then Bergwijn with 2 points, disappointing in that match against Senegal. But up front, Kane getting 7 points. Now, Messi has 12 points at the moment, which means he had 6. So I had Kane with 7 as captain, and then I changed it to Messi. But if they were still giving shots on target, because Messi had 3 shots in that game, it would have been 14 as well. So it wouldn't have mattered. But I don't know if they're still going to give the key passes and shots on goal, because there's a lot of players who need to have that as well. Messi had 3 shots on target. And then I'll also tell you about Kimmich as well. He had, I think, three key passes in that game. He should have 2 points instead of 1. Neymar disappointing in the final game. Richarlison, if you had Richarlison, well done. He got a lot of points in that game. Neymar only had 1, and he got subbed off as well. On my bench, I had Caicedo, a punt from the first game, only got 1 point. Pavard also only got 1 point. Martinez got 0 points for Argentina, who expected them to concede 2 goals in that game. And then Di Maria, like, it was such a shock that Saudi Arabia have put that there as a holiday in their country. Like, that is how much of a shock it was. And then Di Maria also has 1 point, but he should have 2, because I think he also had like 2 or 3 key passes as well. So he should have 2 points, just like Kimmich. But that is if they're going to add them. But anyway, that would mean no difference really. I looked at the key passes and the shots on goal before I subbed off my players. And Di Maria should have 2 points, but Kimmich should have 2 points as well. So it doesn't really matter. But I was pretty happy with the team. All 5 of my backline returning. My 2 expensive forwards returning, and Saka as well returning big, the top scorer in the game right now. But disappointing from Neymar, Kimmich, Bergwijn. Could have easily have been like almost 100 points. But I'm happy with how it went match day 1. I have 74 points. And Mbappe, I forgot to talk about Mbappe, of course. He was my 12th man. He got 9 points. You always expect him to return. Like, there's no game where Mbappe will play not return. It's almost impossible. So Mbappe with 9 points there. Got a very good header, very good header from him. 9 points. And then 74 points. I'm currently ranked 1,448. Not bad. Yesterday I was as high as like 600, so I was really happy with that. And I think in the Everything Football League, like, I'm 4th, so I'm pretty happy with that. So what am I going to do for match day 2? Here are my plans. So my wildcard is active, and I've changed both goalkeepers because Russia has a tough fixture against Portugal, and Martinez is playing against Mexico, but it didn't really look good. The 2 goals conceded, so I've taken them both out. I've brought in the Netherlands goalkeeper up against Nope. I'll tell you about my other goalkeeper. Lucas Hernandez got injured. He wasn't in my team. I had Pavard, but Theo Hernandez will definitely start this time. So I have gone with Theo Hernandez against Denmark. Denmark did not score last time out, so I would not be surprised if France kept another clean sheet against them or kept a clean sheet against them. Maguire, yes, I never thought I'd have Maguire in my team, but he was a massive threat from the corners. Like, I think he ended up he got to like 4 headers. Like, he got an assist, he hit the post. Like, he was very dangerous. I've replaced Shaw with him. I've also brought in a Japanese goalkeeper, not goalkeeper, sorry, a defender, Japanese defender. Maybe I could even end up with a goalkeeper. I will still decide between now and the deadline. Itakura, because Costa Rica looked terrible. Costa Rica did not have a single shot on target or off target against Spain. So if they do the same, hopefully Takura plays and keeps a clean sheet. I was also thinking about Tomiyasu because he came on and made an impact, but I'm not sure if he's going to start. And even if he does really finish those 60 minutes. I've also brought in a Senegalese defender, Cisse. I think I have enough money to bring in players like Koulibaly. Those rumors about Mendy being benched, so I'm not going there. So Abou Cisse is starting for me up against Qatar. Qatar also looked very toothless in the first game against Ecuador. Sosa remains. We talked about him in the reaction. He remains. He looked very good in that game, and he's up against Canada, who didn't score in match day one. Unlucky not to score, but I do fancy Sosa in this one. And then Kamada as well. If Costa Rica are going to consider another 7 goals, I definitely want to have a Japanese attacker. Badvine definitely did not impress me at all, but I have him for now, but he might not be there by the time we get to the deadline. Someone I really want is Depay. By where do I fit him in? I feel like he's going to start this time out. So Badvine is still there against Ecuador, and then De Bruyne is the one I've brought in up against Morocco. Now, Morocco don't concede a lot of goals, and Belgium only scored 1, but the number of chances De Bruyne created for Batshuayi, if Batshuayi was Haaland or Lukaku, that could have been like 4 goals for Belgium and 4 assists for De Bruyne. Like, the way he was pushing forward from midfield to the forward areas, like the energy he has incredible, and he will take some corners, he will take some free kicks. So De Bruyne is there against Morocco, and then up front, Giroud looked very good against Denmark. He might still end up being Mbappe. I might just decide to switch to Mbappe anyway, but I have Giroud for now because it's cheaper, and he looked very good. Like, I wanted him for match day 1 as well, but there's no way I would have taken out Kane or Messi. So Giroud against Denmark, and then Lionel Messi against Mexico. I mean, he still scored in that game, and he still created a couple of chances, had shots on goal if they're still giving points for that. And he could have had a couple of assists if all those goals weren't disallowed. So Messi is in my team still. I will decide on the captaincy later. And then on my bench, I've brought in the Tunisia goalkeeper Damen against Australia. He had 8 points in match day 1, and Australia did take some shots against France. So if he does and he saves them, those are a couple of save points. I've also brought in Zielinski against Saudi Arabia, mostly because he was playing up front with Lewandowski in the first game. And for a midfielder, 7 points if he plays up front against Saudi Arabia. I mean, Saudi Arabia is different. They're top of that group, so you cannot underestimate them. They beat Argentina. So Zielinski might still end up leaving, but I would not be too worried about having Zielinski in this game. Saka stays in my team. Maybe he will start, maybe he will be benched. You never know. Foden could come in for this one, but I'm hopeful Saka will start. And then Neymar stays in my team, although he got subbed off and he was kicked around in that game against Serbia. But let's see what happens. Switzerland did not look good against Cameroon. Cameroon created a couple of chances they could have scored. So if they do the same with Brazil and give them those many chances, it's going to be another feast for the likes of Richarlison and Vinicius. So we will decide who to bring on. But that is how my team is looking. Only Saka remains as of now with Messi, Badvine, and Sosa. Only 4 players remain on the wildcard, but there definitely will be changes. So let me know what you make of this team. How did you do in match day 1? Was it successful? Was it a failure? Currently ranked around 1K, so let's hope that there will be a lot of improvements. I've seen a lot of people in match day 1, the top guys in the world right now, going with like 3 Netherlands defenders and 2 defenders from Denmark, which paid off because all of them kept clean sheets. I might end up going with that strategy, but I really want players like Theo Hernandez. I want a player from Japan. I might end up going with the second Senegalese defender. We have to wait and see. But currently 70% happy. There still might be 4 or 5 changes. So I will let you know. As of now, thank you for watching, and I'll catch up with you on the next one.